So this is a follow-up story. Welcome to A to Z Decodes. That's the playlist here on Daily Decodes 812. A real person giving real decodes, factual connections. This is a follow-up to a previous story that is actually on that channel when I was putting these on that channel. But the suspect arrested, charged in the shooting deaths of two teens found dead months ago in the Arizona wilderness. Thomas Brown, charged with first-degree murder after investigators allege his account contradicted evidence. Now it says on Google here, because I originally opened this article and now it's like they want me to subscribe or pay or whatever to access it again. But this guy was arrested October 2nd for the murders of these two teenagers, and they were like two campers. And this was near Mount Ord. This was the Tonto National Forest. And I'm going to show you how this connects with another story that's out there right now. And look at this right here. So when you look up Mount Ord, you see a peak in Arizona, a mountain summit located in the Tonto National Forest. Look at this video right here. Let me zoom in. Where did it go? Let me zoom out, I guess. Okay. Wow, did it just disappear? Oh, there it is right there. So look at this video, an hour and 28 minutes. Whatever. I don't know if that's just a whole bunch of news, but you see one of the stories is in the picture there. There's Thomas Brown, who's the guy who's been arrested here for these murders, the murders of these two teens. It was a shooting, okay? It was a shooting. But look at an hour and 28 minutes, this video that has the story in it. Look, he's arrested 128 days after the murders. Look at that right there. The murders were May 27th. Right there. So that's wow, right?
Sitting in a jail cell, the man prosecutors say brutally murdered two teenagers on a camping trip. The two teens were found shot to death near a remote hiking trail in Arizona after a Memorial Day outing. I spoke with the heartbroken mom of 17-year-old Evan Clark.
So you think it was just some random act of
horror, absolute horror. Teenage children.
The other victim was Evan's high school friend, 18-year-old Pandora Kjolsrud. Chilling video shows the accused killer, 31-year-old Thomas Brown, being taken to Arizona's Maricopa County Jail. He's made to stand barefoot in a scanning machine that takes all his body's measurements in seconds. Brown's eerie, emotionless demeanor and ice-cold gaze as he's booked for first-degree murder is sparking comparisons with Brian Kohberger, the notorious killer of the 4 Idaho college kids. Detectives say Brown was camping near Arizona's Mount Ord with his wife and stayed behind an extra day. When she went home, he told cops he spent his day flying his drone around the mountain. After the bodies of the teenagers were found, investigators say Brown called the police helpline to say he'd seen the campers and stumbled across their campsite but had not spoken to them. But detectives say his DNA was found at the crime scene. Pandora and Evan were about to start their senior year at high school in Scottsdale. Evan's mom posted heartbreaking video of her journey to the spot where the bodies were found.
That's where I lost my boy. They died alone in this forest.
She says she had a bad feeling about the trip and pleaded with him to change his plans.
I asked him not to go that morning. I even offered for him money for him so he could use the weekend and go to California.
This is one of the last photos of Pandora. It was taken with her mom on Mother's Day, just 2 weeks before the murders.
The light and love and beauty she gave us will be in our hearts forever. And the darkness that she encountered on that day, when she met her killer, will not define her life.
There's something off about this guy, huh? They said that he kind of comes off like Brian Kohlberger. Let me look him up real quick. A guy, I guess, involved in another murder. Oh, Brian Christopher Kohlberger right here. Kind of eerie. He's just got that similar type of look right there, huh? That's got that similar type of look. Let me pull up Thomas Brown. So here's this guy, Thomas Brown. Brian Kohlberger. Man, they might be the same person. They might be the same person, just or related or something. Because man, they do look the same in the face. Just the hair is a little bit different. There's that guy. There's this guy. Is there any more information on this guy? This guy was involved in some Idaho murders. Look, they got his birthday there. That's weird that they would have his birthday, huh? Like he's a celebrity or something. November 21st right there. So they're saying this Thomas Brown, I'm remembering it vaguely now from the decode. But they said Memorial Day, right? Or they were selling Memorial Day. Yeah, right there. So Memorial Day was May 26th. The murders were May 27th. Okay. Did I pull up? Let me pull up the video here. Here's the video. Look, you see 4 months ago when I originally did this decode right here.
Suspicious. Now, friends say the pair.
So as I just like kind of scroll through it, you see the 61s and the 16 hit big. Birthday. Look at the 6 in that original decode. Just to see if, okay, now I do see something here that I'm going to show you in these slides, okay? I'm just looking for anything else here. And again, this number's been popping up a lot lately, the 119. Reversed is a 911 emergency, but this has been popping up with the 911 energy that's been lingering around. We're not too far after the 24th anniversary of 9/11. So look how now we're at that time, and you see 4 months ago this 119 hit right here. So it's just kind of like a pattern with these numbers. It's like a pattern with these numbers. And you see homicides got that 48 like Arizona. You see right there. Homicides got 42 like Arizona. Okay, now I'm going to show you.
The area they were found.
Now I'm going to show you how this connects to some other stuff. Well, one story in particular. Okay, so here are the two teens, Pandora Kjolsrud and Evan Clark. Man, I swear there was an. That's kind of interesting because the Indiana Fever are in the WNBA finals, or actually they got beat out by the Aces in the round before the finals, and the Aces are taking on the Phoenix Mercury right now. That's interesting because Caitlin Clark is a member of the Indiana Fever, even though she is injured right now. They get beat out by the Aces, and the Aces are right now playing in the WNBA Finals against the Phoenix Mercury, Phoenix, Arizona, and this is an Arizona story. This goes with the video I did showing how everything's connected, because if Indiana would have beat the Aces in that series and they were playing the Phoenix Mercury right now in the WNBA Finals, you could see how that would connect. Everything's set up and connected like that, where no matter what happens, you're going to have a connection. That's amazing. But these are the two teens right here murdered in the Tonto National Forest by Thomas Brown. Even Thomas Brown has the T like Tonto National Forest and T like teens. So this is what I really wanted to show you here, okay? Because look at those numbers from that decode. When I pulled it up and I was looking, I'm like, wow, those numbers look familiar. You see 107-17, and Evan Clark was age 17. Look at that right there. Look at those connections and those numbers, because that syncs up with the Arthur Jones death. A member of 3 NFL teams, but known for the Super Bowl victory with the Baltimore Ravens. Look at the numbers: 107, 170, 17. And Lamar Jackson, who's a current quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens, look at his birthday is 1-7. Look at that right there. Okay? So you get this football connection and a death. I think they said it was like heart conditions later on, but originally there was no cause of death. Arthur's got AR like Arizona. You see that right there? But look at how these numbers sync up with these two stories. You know, this kind of local Arizona story trending, right? Now a follow-up. A guy has been arrested, charged with first-degree murder. Look at the 107-17. Now, to go one step further, look at the red arrow. So I uploaded that to Arizona A to Z Decodes June 5th. You see that right there? Remember, the murders were, this was Memorial Day. I don't know. Do they call it weekend or whatever? I don't know. But Memorial Day, nonetheless, they were celebrating Memorial Day camping. Look at the date of my upload, June 5th, right there. Okay? That's 2 days after Arthur Jones' birthday. Isn't that amazing? That's undeniable that this stuff just hits with patterns. Because now you get Arthur Jones dead. Right, like trending still probably. Former football player. AR, look at that, like Arizona. Isn't that amazing? Look at his June 3rd birthday right there. You see that? And you can see how that connected to Lamar Jackson further as I have a decode on that out. But look at that June 3rd birthday. And then this video I uploaded 2 days after his birthday, and they got the same numbers. Look at that right there, man. And they got the same numbers. Now this dude's arrested and it's in October, right? And this guy's arrested and he's arrested 1 day before the death of Arthur Jones. Look at how Thomas Brown has 148 and 149 in the language when Baltimore equals 148 and Arthur Jones equals 148 and 149. You cannot deny that. Damn, that's just absolutely bone chilling right there. I just found out that there's a Thomas Brown who was a former football player. But you want to know something else? The murder of these two teens, the shooting murder. Look at it, was the 147th day of the year, May 27th. Right there. Well, that's Memorial Day. I can't remember if it was like the day before. Well, the day before would have been more uh well, the day after would have been the 148th day of the year, but nonetheless, Memorial Day, they mentioned it in the video in the story. They were celebrating Memorial Day, which was May 27th. Look, that was the 147th day of the year. How the next day was the 148th. And you see Thomas Brown gets arrested, 148. Baltimore and Arthur Jones, 148. So, I mean, this proves that these patterns and these stories are manufactured. Now, if they go through with the murders based on the numbers and it really happened, that's really, really kind of scary, isn't it? But if not, maybe the stuff's just all fake. Maybe the teens. I mean, I hate to say that, but maybe this just didn't happen and it's a complete act. Maybe these characters are affiliated with some elite people and they're just acting a part of the script. Either way, I mean, that's shady as right. But that you cannot deny that with the June 5th, 2 days after Arthur Jones' birthday, and then their numbers match. You can't deny that, man. Even Arizona's the 48th state. Remember, was it homicide 48? So 148 has the 48 in it. So I mean, that's freaking wild, man. And they compared this guy, Thomas Brown, to that other guy, Brian Christopher Koberger. I think they said he murdered 4 teens in Idaho. But he also looks like Timothy McVeigh. This guy sentenced to life in prison. The University of Idaho murders, I guess. 4 consecutive terms of life in prison after pleading guilty to the murders of 4 Idaho students in November 2022. But that was trending recently. This guy, and they look like Timothy McVeigh, kind of. They got kind of like that eerie look. So they kind of have this like military, ex-military kind of look to them. Wow, look, Timothy McVeigh died June 3rd. He's responsible for the OKC bombing. Him and American domestic terrorists. That kind of syncs up with that 9/11 connection I mentioned earlier. Remember the 9/11? Remember this bombing on the 19th? Chaos equals 19. He died 6/11. Flip it over. That's 119. Oh, remember Evan Clark 119? And this guy looks like Timothy McVeigh. Yeah, you can't deny that because he died June 11th, and that's 8 days after Arthur Jones' birthday. And that's right after the Memorial Day. And remember, I posted this story right here originally June 5th, 2 days after the Arthur Jones birthday. There's that 156 prime number 911. Teen Campers 119. Look at that right there. Timothy McVeigh. Look at that. Boom. Died June 11. Right there. And that's the Joe Montana birthday. So you get that football connection again. With that 16 on the jersey. Look at that. And October 6th was just Trevor Lawrence's birthday with that 16 right there. So that's wild, isn't it? Look at the other guy named, look at this Thomas Jones. There's another guy, football player. Thomas Jones, football player. Look at this right here. American actor and former football player. So this guy's got the same name. So you get that football connection again with Arthur Jones, Thomas Quinn Jones right here. Look, he played for the Jets, one of his teams. So there's that plane Jets, kind of like 9/11. Played for the Chiefs, it looks like, as well. So that's just kind of interesting, huh? But you cannot deny, you can't deny those connections. You can't deny. Wow, that's wild. So I just wanted to come and show you that real quick as like a follow up to those murders. Wow, you know why that's amazing? Because the Cleveland Browns moved they became the Baltimore Ravens. And this guy's name is Thomas Brown. Wow, that's undeniable. Well, not permanently. The team was split when the franchise's personnel and history moving to become the Baltimore Ravens, while Cleveland retained the rights to the team name, colors, and history. Eventually restarting with a new. That's amazing. And this guy's name is Thomas Brown. That's amazing, man. And this guy's name is Thomas Brown, like the Cleveland Browns, with that Arthur Jones death. Wow. Complete script. I caught the script, okay? I caught the script. I don't think I've ever exposed this stuff so much in one story. I mean, maybe I have. Wow, that's amazing, man. All of this stuff doesn't make sense. You got people on TV. These are actors, okay? People on TV are actors. It's a script and it's a role. And that's the bottom line, man. Everybody that they present in front of you is a damn actor. Okay? Say my opinion. Say it's my opinion if you want, man. So this again is in the Arizona A to Z Decodes playlist on this main channel of mine where I decode trending stories. And I prove this stuff is a script and it's just ran on patterns and it's a computer pumping the stuff out. I prove it right here. Suspect arrested, charged in shooting deaths of 2 teens. found dead months ago in Arizona wilderness. Thomas Brown charged with first-degree murder. It makes you think maybe that this maybe happened to Arthur Jones, and they're just giving us like half-truths, and they're giving us the truth in another story by the patterns and the numbers, which is wild. That's amazing. Until next time, there's more details. That's all I got right now.